So during the backing process, Leo has been a little bit tricky to bridle and put his tack on. So I've just tried to really break it down and go through a bit of a process of getting him to accept his tack before I put it on, which I think is the fairest way to bring him on as a nice young horse. So what I try and do is I periodically with each piece of tack, and I mean, you have to be very patient in doing this. Touch, 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 good boy. And every time he makes contact with each part of the tack, touch, touch, good boy, thank you. He gets a little reward, and in turn, it gets him a little more comfortable with having his tack on, I feel. It's a very, very useful aid. Good boy, touch, touch, good, thank you. Touch, 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 good boy, thank you. In the start, you've got to be very patient because you'll feel like an idiot there at the front just saying the word touch about 5,000 times, but they have to do it enough times to obviously understand the vocal aid. It doesn't really matter what your vocal aid is because obviously they don't speak human, but it's about the tone staying the same every time. Touch, touch, good boy, thank you. Touch, 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 good boy, thank you. It's been proven that you need to do things really at least about 5 or 6 times. Horses have a great long-term memory rather than short-term memory, so it's super important to repeat the process over, many days and not get disappointed if you feel they're not picking it up quickly. I have put him on a head collar because it just makes the process a little bit easier. So now the bridle is the bit that he's been struggling with the most. So good boy. We have to mix in now 2 different learning techniques. So obviously the positive reinforcement of him accepting the tack, and then the negative reinforcement, which is when I touch him on the face here, I have to keep the pressure on if he goes up, not by gripping really hard, but just by keeping a little bit of pressure on. Then when he puts his head down, the pressure releases. That then becomes an aid that he understands when I'm out competing or out training for safety reasons, if I need to get his head down to put tack on him to stop him getting injured. So now, first thing I do is touch, 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 good boy. As you can see, he's a little more reluctant to touch the bridle as he was the rest of the tack. This has been where the source of good boy, touch, 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 touch. Good boy, thank you. Good boy. And it is just staying patient. Touch, touch, touch. Good boy, thank you. So then always for safety reasons, do everything like I would as if I was at a competition. So I don't take the head collar off, I just take the rope off first so I can put the reins over the head. As I take the head collar off, I put the hand on the face. So he accepts that little bit of pressure, and I wait until I feel he's okay with that pressure on the face, and then I take the bridle. So then he went up, so I keep the pressure here again until I feel, good boy, him relax into that again, then he'll get a treat for that. Thank you. And as you'll notice, the treat is always in response to him achieving something, never me just giving the treat randomly. I have to feel, good boy, that he has achieved something in order to get the treat, and then that's when you don't have a horse just wanting to steal treats out of your pocket the whole time. Good. And then I tend to let him stand there for a while, good boy, before I do anything up on the bridle, and then always do it up nice and loose when you eventually do that. Touch. No. So when they then just think they want the treat, good boy, thank you, you have to do what's called blocking, which is just ignoring. I'm not going to tell him off for trying to get the treats from my pocket, because that would be silly, because he's just doing something natural, but he has to realise he has to achieve something to get the treat. So if he's doing that, I'm just ignoring. Touch, 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 touch. Good boy, thank you. So again, he didn't touch the boot, so then he got the reward. It's a work in progress, but I'm really impressed with how he's coming on. He's certainly feeling a lot more comfortable with the tacking up process. And to me, if you don't have a horse that's happy having its tack putting on, then you're not going to have a horse that's willing for you to get on it.